In this house, we store avocados in water. Now we have a bunch of smaller tortillas. My last name I get from my Colombian side is actually Brazilian. My ancestry background is like Spanish. I'm kind of like a little mutt if you think about it. Like your favorite substitute teacher, you know? 8 years of MMA training experience. In her head, she would just become confused about like which language to speak, so she just decided not to speak. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. You saw the title, you know, today I'm making chilaquiles once again, but this time I promise I'm gonna make it the right way. Just to respond to the fact that I was actually making migas before instead of chilaquiles, I wanted to redeem myself and show you guys how to make them the right way. But this time I'm gonna be doing it alone. It's just me and you guys here today. Chilaquiles is a very popular Mexican dish that consists of fried pieces of tortilla with salsa, and there's a lot of variations to it. You can throw in vegetables like onion, you can throw in chicken, you can throw in some eggs, avocado. Today I'm going to be making it with red sauce con salsa roja. I'm gonna be putting some egg and avocado on it. The comments educated me that I wasn't making chilaquiles properly, which I kind of already knew that. I just didn't know that I was making it that wrong. We're fixing that today. We're doing it better this time. My ingredients today are going to be tortillas de maíz. These are corn tortillas, guys. This brand is called La Banderita. I also have caldillo de tomate. This is our red salsa today. You can make it from scratch. This one's in a box. If you want to make it from scratch, there's a lot of ways you can do that too. You can just blend up some tomato with vegetables and good stuff you want in there. I also have some eggs to put on top, and the avocado, guys, it's a swimming avocado. This one's actually a fish. I'm just kidding. In this house, we store avocados in water, which I learned. If you store avocados in water, they stay fresher longer. Like, what? Like, on top of, this is gonna be on top of like, you know, oil, salt, and whatever other extras might be thrown into it. All right, so to get things started, I have a pan here. This one is already used. It's not perfectly clean. I tend to use my pans a few times until I wash them again. I have also this one that I'm not using yet, but I'm gonna have that for eggs. I'm gonna put the heat up somewhere between mid and high. Drizzle some vegetable oil. I think this is just like corn or vegetable oil. I'm gonna sprinkle some salt on it too, because the tortillas that I have are just plain tortillas. I wanna have some salt in my chilaquiles. While it's heating up, I'm going to break up these tortillas into smaller pieces. Let's use 3. I'm gonna use 3 tortillas today. I'm just gonna fold them to make even sizes. And now we have a bunch of smaller tortillas. I'm putting one side down and then flipping it over just so that they're both kind of coated with the oil. I could have used a bigger pan for this, I'm not gonna lie. To build off of what was going on in my last video, Chelsea's not Mexican, Chelsea's Colombian, Puerto Rican. You've probably heard me say this in my other videos. I'm Mexican Colombian. What's kind of funny though is my last name that I get from my Colombian side is actually Brazilian. And then my ancestry background on both sides is like Spanish. So I'm kind of like a little mutt if you think about it. I don't know if you can hear, but these are kind of like sizzling now. I'm gonna flip them over so both sides can kind of catch the oil. Should I cover them? You know, like with a lid, should I cover it? Because like on one hand, that's gonna trap the moisture. On the other hand, it will help keep the heat inside of it. I'm just gonna leave it like that for a bit, see what happens. Yesterday, I filmed a whole video. I was gonna take you guys with me to put oil in my car, and then I also got some new glasses. Let me show you my glasses. Ooh. I'm not gonna keep that covered. I don't think that was a good idea. It just started getting all foamy. And I think we needed that moisture to evaporate. They're getting crispy. All this foaminess, I think, is because the moisture from the tortillas was starting to evaporate but stay trapped in there when I put the top on it. I'm just gonna let that cook a little more while I'm talking. But yeah, I got these glasses, guys, look. They're just some regular like blue light glasses. By the way, I got this top in Mexico. I also got these pants in Mexico, but it's so cute. These glasses, they're just blue light. I have perfect 20/20 vision, but these are just to help me out at night when I'm up late, like editing and on my laptop and on my phone and stuff, because I noticed my eyes just getting really strained since I started doing all that editing. But I like the way they look at me, you know? It's like, I kind of look like your favorite substitute teacher, you know? I'm not substitute teacher that lets you guys be on your phone in class. If you're nice enough to me, I'll let you play a movie or something. I don't make you do your homework, you know. I'll let you go to your friend's classroom and go say what's up. I'll even give you like an extra 15 minutes at PE, or like not PE, like recess, you know what I mean? All right, here's how my tortillas are looking. They're getting really sizzly. They're hardening, but they're not fully hard yet, so I'm probably just gonna let them be there for like another few minutes or so until we throw in the salsa, and then I'll get some eggs cooking while that's rolling. I'm pretty upset about my filming going wrong yesterday because I had a lot of good conversation going too. I have a background in MMA. I have 8 years of MMA training experience, and that includes like judo, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, boxing, stuff like that, a little bit of Muay Thai. That's honestly like a huge passion of mine. I really love watching fights and stuff. I like getting back into it too. I would love to get some like MMA content out there for you guys. I have a friend, Kayla, who would train with me back then, and I really want to do a video with her where we're like free fighting or grappling for like 3 rounds or something. I think it would be so sick, but she's a little camera shy, so it might take some convincing. Here's how our chips are looking right now. Some of them are like really golden brown, but they're getting hard. Some of them are still like a little bit soft, so I want to let it at least a few more minutes. So like semi-recently, I started getting back into kickboxing just because I really like the activity. I really like the exertion of energy. So at the gym, you know, there's punching bags, and I got some wraps so I can throw some punches and kicks. And it's really good. It feels really good to be able to do that, but I stopped because one of my main goals was to maintain and put on more weight, which is hard to do with like my metabolism and combining the amount of cardio that I was doing. So I kind of cut out some of the cardio, which was that kickboxing, unfortunately, a sacrifice that had to be made for me to want to achieve my physical goals. But I would love to get back into it, like at least every once in a while, because it's really, really fun, guys. If you've never like punched a bag or just physically taken out some of your like frustration or like anger towards things. I'm not an angry person, but you know, for lack of better words, like there's always energy that needs to be expelled from the body. It's a really good way to do it. I encourage anybody who, even if you think you're not a fighter, you're not an aggressive person, MMA, boxing, any form of fighting is such a good way to release that energy while also learning really good discipline, outwardly and inwardly. You see that, guys? That sounds hard, huh? That sounds like some crispy chips. I'm gonna move this off the stove, or at least off the hot one, while I pour in the salsa because I don't want it to just like explode on me. Hecho en Mexico. So I'm gonna eyeball this. I'm gonna cut this open like this. That's a really small hole. Let me show you guys what I'm doing. It's already kind of hot, so I'm gonna turn down the heat a bit more. Move this back off and put some more of that in there. All right. That looks like enough. While that's cooking up, we're just gonna like mix it around. And this smells so good, guys. I could put more salsa, I think. I'm gonna let that cook up for a minute. Look how yummy that is. Wow. To wrap up the MMA thing, yeah, that's another really big hobby of mine. I would love to put out some content related to that. So if you have any ideas, any content that has to do with like MMA or me trying out something that has to do with that, I'm so down. I'm gonna turn on the other stove so I can keep this hot while these are cooking. Yesterday, so I went to go get some oil for my car. Today, you are coming along with me to get some oil for my car. Do you guys have like this reflex where you like sneeze when you walk into the sun? Here is where I'm putting the oil. Kind of really inconvenient for me to reach. I have to bend over half the engine bay just to get over there. Me guys, I just took a whole clip of me pouring the oil into my car and like talking for like 3 minutes, and it wasn't even recording. It stopped recording when I set up the phone. So I even like set it back up again. After I did that, it still wasn't recording. So I like did it a third time and it still wasn't recording. So I was really mad about that. But yeah, then I got these glasses. This one kind of goes with like jewelry, but the other one was kind of cool. And I'm very happy with them. The eggs are cooking. I'm gonna flip them. I like flipping my over easy eggs. Oh, one of the yolks cracks. All right, that's fine. And I'm gonna put a little more salsa on the tortilla because it was just looking a little dry. Here are how my eggs are looking. These are staying warm. I had to turn on the stove, so they're still like heating up again. I also want to try filming an entire video or like 24 hours in Spanish or something because I've seen a few. Oh my god, it has a bubble in it. I'm turning that off, moving that, putting these back on here because that part of the stove is already hot. This is kind of like my ADHD going off in the kitchen right now. This is what it looks like when I'm cooking. While I have this staying hot, I'm gonna cut up the avocado. I want to do a video Spanish mode because you guys can probably tell when I speak in Spanish. My Spanish is not perfect. It's not 100% fluent. That is because my mom was born in Mexico, moved to the States when she was in her 20s. So she still has kind of like a little bit of an accent. My dad moved here from Colombia when he was like 11 years old. He went to New York. So he grew up more so around English than my mom did. They speak Spanish with each other. To me, my mom speaks mostly Spanish and my dad speaks pretty much just English to me and my sister. I think part of the reason they don't speak more Spanish to me growing up. Here's our avocado, by the way. I have no idea how long this was in the fridge. Look at that. When me and my sister were younger, there was like a phase that she went through where she was like almost mute for a bit, and this was while she was young, like I don't know, maybe like around 4 years old. So my parents got her like a speech therapist and, you know, tried to figure out what was wrong with her, and basically they concluded that she was confused because at home we would like speak Spanish to her, and then in school, you know, she was learning and hearing English around the other students and teachers, and in her head she would just become confused about like which language to speak. You know, she didn't know if she should respond in English or Spanish, something like that. So she just decided not to speak. And I think from that point on is when my parents kind of decided to have like a dominant language, just so we could have an easier time growing up and getting along here in the States. That being said, the Spanish that I did grow up learning was majority Mexican Spanish, but not, like I said, not like 100% like fluent. Like the past few years, I have been actively trying to get better, trying to learn more Spanish. And in that process, I've been learning Spanish from a lot of other Spanish speakers. I've learned a lot of Spanish from Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Ecuadorians, Mexicans. So that has kind of taken away from me having a specific accent. I never really developed a singular accent to one country. I don't sound Mexican when I speak Spanish. I don't sound specific, right? So a lot of people, when they hear me, the ones that are like trying to invalidate my Hispanicness because I'm not fluent, I disagree with that, first of all, but that's because I think it's partially because my Spanish isn't perfect and it doesn't sound like from a specific place. It's kind of like a mix of different regions. I am a product of my environment. That's where I'm at currently with Spanish, but I think it is also a lot of code switching. When I speak with my Mexican family, I do sound more Mexican versus when I speak with Cubans or like Islanders, I kind of, you know, adapt to that accent and that type of inflectuation. Sometimes I get a little nervous, I get a little embarrassed when I try to speak. It depends who I'm speaking with, how I'm comfortable with them. But regardless, I always try my best. I love to continue learning. So if I can put myself out of my comfort zone by trying to do like a whole video or a whole 24 hours in Spanish, that would be sick. I think that would be a really good attempt or like achievement of mine. And with that, to all the other Latinos out there that get like shit on for not knowing Spanish, or people will tell you you're not Hispanic because you don't know Spanish, this and that. Guys, if it's in your blood, you are Hispanic enough to me, you know? Aww. Like that's your background, that's your ethnicity, that's your whatever. Like not all Americans, not all American citizens know perfect English, but that doesn't make them any less of a citizen, you know what I mean? There are a lot of people that I've met in Mexico or in the States that have been really supportive of me speaking still, trying still, and wanting to learn more. And I honestly really appreciate that because the encouragement can put people down, and that's what makes people kind of like stray away from their culture. I have no capacity in my body towards being negative to anybody. If you're not Hispanic and you're still learning Spanish, I love that. I would love to learn another language myself. If I could learn Russian, Portuguese, like I said, my last name is Brazilian, that'd be so sick. A lot of people think I'm Brazilian when they like see my last name before actually meeting me. Some people also think I'm like Cuban or Puerto Rican. Let me know what you think I look like, because I know I don't look like straight up Mexican. People think I look like a lot of things. So I'm curious what you guys think I look like, because I've gotten a lot of different answers over the years. Here are my chilaquiles, by the way. Also, this is my explosion of things going on in the kitchen. We have our tortillas con salsa, unos huevos, y un aguacate. Let me know what you think, guys. I think this looks so yummy. I love the way it turned out. It's my first time, like I said, my first time making genuine chilaquiles traditionally instead of my migas version that I was doing before. Look at that. With my hand all dirty. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of gonna save that for later because I had lunch not too long ago, and I'll take a bite to let you guys know how it tastes. I'm gonna get a little bit of the avocado, a little bit of the egg, with the salsa. See that? Oh my god, guys. Why wasn't I making it like that before, guys? Why have I been making it wrong this whole time when it's so good when you do it the right way? Wow, 10 out of 10, guys. I'm not even hyping myself up. That was amazing. I wish you could try it. I'm so proud of myself. I'm also angry at myself for not doing it like this before. Shout out to those comments in the other chilaquiles video who told me what I was doing wrong. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here doing this right now. Thank you guys so much. I think this is gonna be the end of my video here. Thank you for the continuous support I've been seeing on my channel. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching this. It means a lot to me if you made it this far. Thank you, thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I will see you in the next one. Peace.